Alrighty then, bro. You want to transform your life, man. You want to transform your life within 30 to 60 days. I got something for you, man. I got something for you. Look, I'm going to break down some ways that you can elevate yourself in a small amount of time, right? All it takes is a little discipline. It takes a little persistence, right? And it takes getting this mind together right here. As I preach and as I say, everything starts in the mind, right? So the same thing that I tell my friends, my family, I tell y'all, or you, I tell my clients, okay? I'm gonna break it down though, man. Everything starts in the mind, like I said. So if you wanna change some things, right? For you to even get to the point where you feel like you have to change, you have to elevate, you have to do something different than what you're doing, right? You're going to have to start thinking differently, all right? The old thinking ain't working for you. And that old thinking is tied to a self-image that you have about yourself, all right? That self-image that you have about yourself is tied to the habits that you do. So it's tied to the thoughts that you think, the images that you have in your mind, the feelings that you feel, and the actions that you do, which in return gives you the results that you get. So I'm gonna move this down a little bit, bro. I hope it ain't fucking with the video too much. All right, so if you are not happy with the results that you're getting, then you need to change the thoughts that you're thinking, because that's where the source is. The source is from your thoughts. But the thoughts come from an image that you have about yourself, what you believe about yourself, the things that you say to yourself, the conversation, your inner dialogue about yourself, right? Which is all mind. It's all mental at the end of the day. So if you want to change and elevate, you're going to have to change that mind. So to change the mind, though, I am an advocate that you need to detoxify your mind. And when I say detoxify, I'm talking about stopping any substances, all right? Any porn, or damn, I didn't say that. Any corn, all right? I'm gonna have to edit that out. Women, right? I'm gonna say it's so much as coffee, bro. Look, I had to chill out on the coffee, man, because I would stop smoking the weed, and then I would drink more coffee. So it's like I just changed one addiction to another. So if you smoke weed, man, bro, you gotta chill out on that shit, man. For real though, bro. This is not a what the fuck is it? If you smoking weed, bro, you have to chill, because weed does, while it can have some good benefits for you, right? If you're using it recreationally, man, it is keeping you from progressing, man. It is not something that you're doing that's helping you in your progression to where you're trying to elevate to. It's not helping you, bro. Especially if you've been doing it for a long amount of time and you started at a young age. All right? Especially if you started that thing before like 20 years old, bro, chill, man. Chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's always some outliers, though. I'm sure there's somebody, if y'all see this video, somebody's going to come in the comments. I've been smoking weed for 38 years since I was a baby. I run a Fortune 500 company. I'm built six-pack. My people love me, everything and going great in my life. I know, bro. I know, man. There's always outliers out there, right? But I'm speaking to the majority. I'm speaking to most people. All right? Most people, man. And the most people that I've met, who smoke weed are less productive individuals than if they did not smoke weed, right? And everybody that I know who smoke weed, man, they come to a point where they realize that it's not benefiting them. And in some cases, it's actually de-benefiting them. If that's a word. It's doing the opposite, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you, stop smoking weed, bro. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I've been there. I've been there, bro. But one thing about a habit is you can't just delete the habit. And this is anything, whether it's weed, whether it's corn, whether it's food, whether it's women. You can't just delete it, man. Especially if you've cultivated that habit, you've maintained that habit, you've done it over and over and over again. Your body is used to it. You're going to have to be the captain of your ship, which you are. You know what I'm saying? This body, this meat suit that we in, you control this with this mind up here. And you got to get to a point you can't let anything control you, man. You have to control you. You can't let weed, alcohol, any type of other drugs, women, food. You have to get to a point where you can control your mind, because your mind is everything. Your mind is what's going to elevate you. Your mind is what's going to get you to the next level. It is your mind, bro. It ain't nobody you just going to meet out here. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. You can meet somebody, right? But it's the things that you produce with your mind up here that's going to elevate you. It is what comes from you that's going to put you to that next level, man. You have to detoxify your mind, bro. You need to chill out on any substances that you're doing. And you ain't got to do this forever. You just got to do it long enough for you to elevate your life, man. For you to get to that next level. And then once you get to a point where you're cool and you're comfortable, if you want to start doing that stuff again, yeah, do it. You know what I'm saying? Then it'll be like an experiment for you. Then you can see, like, I did this, I stopped this, I started progressing, right? And then I started it back and I kept progressing, or I started to go downhill, right? And then you can judge that based on that at that point in time. But for now, if you are not where you want to be in life, if you are not completely happy, fulfilled, whole, you know what I'm saying? If you're not there, you got to chill. You got to chill. And I know people going to be talking about, nah, I can't put my weed down. Use an addict. The weed has control of you. You have to have control of you. That's the first part. You have to have a clear mind so you have control of you. You have to be able to control the things that you think. You have to be able to control the images that you imagine in your mind, because what you imagine in your mind is tied to how you feel, the feelings that you experience. If you're feeling stress, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling like, tired, if you're feeling worried, these things come from the mental images that you think in your mind. And when I say think, that's what I mean is the images, because your mind thinks in images. It thinks in pictures. So when you have certain pictures, those certain pictures are going to give you a certain feeling. Okay, these feelings are going to make you do certain actions. The actions are going to give you a certain result. If you're not getting the result that you like, then you need to change the pictures that you're thinking in your mind. All right? Smoking weed, and one of the main reasons that I had to stop was that it made it hard for the images, for me to think and control the images that were coming in my mind, on top of other things, right? But one of the main things is once I started learning about metaphysics, once I started about learning the powers of the mind, the subconscious mind, and how we create our reality with our imagination, and the things that we impress into the subconscious mind essentially are going to determine what we do and how we move through life, and what we give to the world or present to the world, which then attracts back to us whatever, that we want. Until I started realizing that, once I started realizing that, I understood that the images in your mind, man, it makes it difficult, bro. It makes it difficult to control those images when you're high, man. It does. So you might not even realize it. But while you're high, you may have, right when you get high, you might have nice thoughts, good images in your mind, right? But on that downside of the high, you might start thinking negative things. And if you're not conscious of your mind, you're not conscious of your thoughts. If you haven't sat down, done meditation, you might not even realize it. You might not even realize that you're having thoughts of maybe, not succeeding in deals, or maybe, not feeling like going to work the next day, not feeling like doing the normal daily activities. Maybe you might have a feeling or a thought in your mind like, you remember your girl and you was arguing 2 weeks ago or something like that. Images like that pop up in your mind. And what you don't realize is imagination is creating reality. So when you see these images and they pop up in your mind, if you keep having images of things that are not desirable, things that you don't want to recreate into your life, you'll recreate them because you have the images. You cannot afford to think of images in your mind of failure, of images on your mind of you not succeeding, images of your mind of things not working out for you, images of your mind of things going bad for you, images of your mind of negative results. You can't afford that shit, man. And when you smoke, images like that will pop up in your mind. Bro, I've done this. Can't nobody tell me about this shit, man. I have been smoking for years, ever since I was 18, all the way up until 2023, consistently every day. If I don't know nothing else, I know about that. I know about that. And I tried to quit. I have attempted to quit many times within that time period, right? So, and then I know other people. I have a homeboy right now who's struggling with the weed. Literally has quit weed and it's been like 5-6 days or something. His life is just, man, I'm thinking my mind's so clear and all that shit. Yeah, bro, I know, bro. You know what I'm saying? And at one point, it was beneficial. But I think you hit an age or you hit a time in your experience where it's done all the benefit it's going to do for you, right? Now you gotta face this life, clear-headed. Now you got to deal with those emotions. Weed suppresses emotions. You got to deal with that shit, man. You have to deal with that. The best way to deal with it is clear mind. You wasn't put here high. You wasn't put here, doing whatever that you was doing, bro. You was born with everything that you need. You don't need anything else outside of you. Everything that you need is already inside of you. You just have to access it. I was thinking yesterday, what you tell yourself is a self-image, right? So if you tell yourself, hey man, I'm not good at fighting. Or if you say, just for this example, like life is boring without weed, or I need my weed, right? If you tell yourself, I can't fight, all right, in your mind, the fight wall is right here, right? And on this side of it is the self image that I can fight, right? On this side of it is the self image that I can't fight. So you can't fight, right? So since that you can't fight, you're gonna hit this fight wall right here. You're not gonna be able to access the experience of I can fight. Even all it is a simple switch of mental thinking. You can't even access these experiences of I can fight. You're gonna experience the shit on this side of the wall, which is I can't fight, right? Getting your ass whooped, right? Bad eye and bad coordination, right? Slow speed, right? Bad footwork, less respect. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna get into more confrontations and shit because of the fact that you can't. People gonna test you, right? You get to experience all the things on this side of the wall of I can't fight, right? Because you tell yourself that you can't fight, right? And this applies to anything. I'm just using I can't fight as an example, right? But if you were to simply switch or what you tell yourself inside of your mind, I can fight, right? Even if you don't even know, even if you're not even trained, right? But if you have in your mind, if you become delusional and be like, man, I could fight, right? You tell yourself that, you tell a lie enough times, it eventually becomes a truth. So now you get to experience certain things. This wall slowly opens up the more that you tell yourself that you can fight, right? So now you get to experience things like whooping somebody's ass, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to block, increase speed, increase footwork. You get to experience these other areas of behind the wall of you can't fight. And I'm using that as an example because smoking, when you're smoking, a lot of times you can't see a life of not smoking. Everything seems like boring. Everything seems like, something you're not going to be able to do. Like, your mind lies to you and makes you feel like you need it so much that you really don't know or can't picture a life without it. And I done harped on weed for like long time, right? Am I still recording? I am recording. I've been talking about weed, but the point is, bro, substances in general, alcohol, right? I can go in about weed, alcohol. I've never done hard drugs, right? Unless you're talking about cocaine. I've done cocaine, but I've never stuck myself with anything. So, I can just talk. I can speak on substances, bro, and how they make it hard for you to control your mind, control the thoughts that come in your mind, control the images in your mind, all right? And that lingers on and makes your mind foggy. It's not just one day. If you're constantly doing that stuff every day, it lingers on for days, for weeks at a time, right? So you have to go through some time to clear your mind, but it can be quick. You can start seeing results fast. But the main thing you got to do is detoxify, bro. You have to clear your head of substances. I would even say coffee. I had to quit coffee because coffee was wrecking my nerves. So I stopped smoking and then I started drinking more coffee. It was wrecking my goddamn nerves, bro. And I was having like 2 p.m. crashes. You know what I'm saying? I'm jittery as hell. Like, coffee is a damn stimulant. That shit damn near like cocaine. So much so that Coca-Cola, apparently back in the day, they used to put cocaine in their drinks, but they needed a substitute at some point in time. So they substituted it with caffeine. It's a stimulant, bro. There's a reason why there's a coffee shop on like every damn corner, man. For real. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, I've heard that it calcifies the pineal gland. If there's truth to that, I don't know. But in my spiritual ascension, I didn't want nothing, you know, in the way of that. So your pineal gland is how you see, bro. How you close your eyes and the images and the things that you see when your eyes are closed, that's from the pineal gland. The downloads and things that you get, the thoughts that come out of this freaking atmosphere and all of a sudden into your mind, and you're like, oh shit, yeah. The thoughts that you think, these thoughts come from somewhere. Right? When you have amazing creative ideas, these thoughts come from somewhere. They're downloaded into your pineal gland. So anything that's disrupting that, I don't want no part of. But the best thing you can do is do nothing. Do nothing. Bro, you have everything you need inside of you. You just, one, have to believe it. Two, you have to have the self-image of somebody who doesn't do that shit. You can't be constantly thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to do something that takes your mind off of it. You cannot destroy a habit. You can only transfer that habit. You got to put that energy into something else. So if you stop smoking, you need to start exercising. You need to get outside. You need to start lifting heavy shit. You need to start, you got to do something. You need to pick up a hobby. You have to do something. You have to detoxify your mind though. Like, you will never progress to the point that you want to be if you're doing substances and you're not where you want to be at. You're never going to get there, bro. You need to get that shit out of your head. I don't want to sound negative, but man, that's what it is. You're doing substances. You're trying to get to a certain point. You're not going to fucking get to where you want to go at the level that you want to go to if you're actively doing any damn substance, man. You're going to have to chill out for a certain amount of time. And then once you get your mind right, once you get to where you're trying to go, it's all about the mental, right? And so if you can get your mind right, and stay off of it long enough, then you might be able to introduce it back in. But at that point, you probably won't even want to, right? You'll probably see the negative and adverse effects of it, and you probably won't even want to touch it. But first step into transforming your life is to detoxify, man. And I'm gonna go into additional steps on another video. But this was the detoxification video. You gotta detoxify, bro. You gotta clear your mind. You gotta get your mind clear. You gotta get your mind clear so you can control what you're doing with your mind. You can control the images, right? The self-help books, the manifestation books, all these things. If you are into that stuff and you're trying to use those things and those techniques and those tactics, but you're smoking weed, but you're drinking alcohol, but you're going out and smashing girls all the goddamn time, draining your energy, these things are holding you back. And if those things that you're trying to implement aren't going to stick the way they need to stick, you have to clear your mind. You have to detoxify your mind. You gotta, and social media is another one. Get the hell off of that shit, man. That is an addiction. You put that phone down, bro, and in a minute and two, you gotta pick it back up and check it, bro. That's an addiction. You have to chill on that. You gotta let that go, man. You just for a little bit though. It ain't for life. It ain't forever. You just gotta do it for a certain amount of time till you get your mind right. But you can't have people on social media influence you, other people's opinions. All these things are going to influence you and have you move in a certain way. It's going to confuse you. You got to clear your mind, bro. And if you clear your mind, if you detoxify your mind, you're going to hear God speaking to you, and he's going to guide you. It's gonna guide you. Divine's gonna guide you. You ain't gonna need nobody else's opinions and influences. I'm telling you. But start there, man. Start there, and then yeah, it's on up from there. I'm making a video about how the next thing. Shit, what is the next thing? Yeah, detoxify, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video. This is your boy Rob, Millionaire, man. Holla at y'all on the next one.